Why does it make you sad? You're a cute girl, you're charming. You just try so hard not to be.
Hi, my name is Dai, and I recently put out a video on Twitter that's gained a lot of traction recently due to exposing a lot of sexual misconduct that Hashinshin has been accused for. He recently came out with a statement in his own defense, and after reading it, I just thought that it would be a good idea to give you guys all the current and new evidence with full explanation so you can form your own opinion. Since then, he has published a very large response where he uses his rocky relationship with ALLI and his mental health troubles as excuses for what he did, if he actually admitted to what he did. Not only has he denied everything in his response, he just straight up ignores all the overwhelming proof and allegations, with his only defense being that evidence is obviously doctored. But he seems to have forgot to mention two recent victims in that doc, which I will discuss in this video, that have decided to come out and share their stories. They also gave me full permission to talk about it. They're right here. And before we even talk about any of that stuff, there's something that I think we should get out of the way. So in the document, he just straight up admits it. He says here, the only proof that I've done anything is my own words. They're relying on obviously fake and doctored screenshots, and I am completely innocent. But the truth of the matter is that he's not. In fact, he has admitted on more than one occasion and confessed that he has done exactly what we're accusing him for, and it's all right here. I don't need to dwell on it. You can look at it, and I just want to move on to the actual topics. But if you want to pause and look at these, you can. Obviously, let's continue. So what I'm about to show you right now is evidence of Hashinshin engaging in sexual misconduct with somebody who he thought at the time was underage, a person named Kate. His defense of this is that Key is a guy who's catfishing him, but this doesn't explain why Hashinshin continued to engage in sexually explicit activities with somebody who he believed to be an underage girl. Hashinshin also claims that the evidence surrounding Key is doctored, but he doesn't actually explain why whatsoever. So with that out of the way, I just like to show you everything that is there. Here you go.
Why does it make you sad? You're a cute girl, you're charming. You just try so hard not to be. Okay, how are you opening up? Let's listen to it. Or guess here, look at it. You can type it. Okay, well, tell me about that then. Don't complain about elaborating, just elaborate. Just tell me about it. What's wrong with that? Well, guys are physical. What do you want? Girls aren't so physical. Guys are way more physical. Okay, well, you like talking to me. I'm too physical. If I'm too physical, why would I be here still talking to you? Like 40, 50 minutes after I got my pick, huh? So I can get more. Maybe you're very concerned about this. See, for me, I get a picture and I'm like, all right, neat. And then I talk to you. But you give a picture and then you like dwell on it for an hour. That is not a healthy thing to do. In fact, I would call it unhealthy. Well, what do you want me to? I can't change you in 2 days, you know? I like pics. Like, I can't change myself for you. One a day. That's not even often at all. How is that very often? If we were talking, I would see you every day anyway.
So with that out of the way, let's briefly talk about Hashinshin's statement. He spends a vast majority of it blaming his ex-girlfriend ALLI and her friend KARINA on spreading these allegations in bad faith as retaliation for toxicity during their relationship. Actually, the entire document is pretty much about how abusive his relationships are with ALLI and KARINA, which are problematic for two reasons. One, it doesn't actually address KARINA's allegations of Hashinshin being predatory towards her when she was a minor. Two, it completely ignores other victims who have made other allegations and provided comprehensive evidence. The fact of the matter is, it's just not that relevant. Like, and while toxic relationships suck, like they're fucking awful. Toxic relationships typically don't involve pedophilic accusations, and anything regarding KARINA and her allegations involving Hashinshin will be provided in the Google Doc, and you can just make your own opinion. But I just wanted to briefly touch on that because I knew people would ask about it. So let's just move on. So regarding these two, Hashinshin reaffirms that there's no evidence aside from his words in a conversation with his ex, ALLI, which he claims were said irrationally and mistakenly, referring to the things that I'll show right here, like the pedo adjacent and whatnot. However, we have evidence to prove that he has admitted to sexual misconduct of minors in a different conversation with a different person while he was not in a manic state, as well as documentation of conversations between Hashinshin and underage girls. So basically, Vicky is a girl who was groomed by Hashinshin from around like 2018 to 2019. At the time, she was 16 years old, which Hashinshin was like completely aware of. I'm going to be showing you guys a few screenshots of their conversations in which Hashinshin encourages Vicky to send sexually explicit content. There are around 50 screenshots in all of these, so they'll all be available in the Google Doc, but I'm just going to go over the important ones because I don't want the video to be too long. So in around March of 2018, Hashinshin and Vicky started talking. Very quickly, Hashinshin started to hit on Vicky, and who again was underage. And after numerous times of this, he convinced her to send pictures of her nudes. This pretty much means that Hashinshin basically requested child pornography and received numerous amounts of it from Vicky throughout the time that they talked. So after this was transpiring for quite a while, it probably became most likely apparent to Hashinshin that what he was doing was illegal. So he decided in numerous occasions that he would ask Vicky to delete their conversation in full, which Vicky agreed to, as shown here. If Hash was as innocent as he claims to be, it's extremely suspicious that he would ask an underage girl to delete conversations with him. He brings up numerous times, there's no evidence again and again and again, but if that was the case, why does it sound like he has a lot to hide? So around mid 2019, while Vicky was 17 years old, it's shown right here that Hashinshin kept up his sexual advances and grooming of Vicky, saying extremely inappropriate comments while once again asking for even more child pornography of Vicky, showing that he just has not changed in the slightest. And once again, I've shown this screenshot in the video once or twice, but I really cannot stress this enough. Vicky literally reminds him later on in their conversations that she was 16, and Hashinshin just seems to completely dance around the topic and gets very defensive when it gets brought up. He shows anxiety, he shows panic, and he asks just never bring it up again. There's really a lot more to cover regarding Vicky. However, the rest of her screenshots and statements are going to be found in the Google Doc. It shows the conversations Hash had during the ALLI situation and his argument with Vicky. She's trying to get Hash to realize what he did to her. But for now on, I just want to move on to Sarah, and we can conclude. So Hashinshin went out of his way to talk to this 15-year-old girl named Sarah. In their conversations, he continuously solicits pics and plays off Sarah's insecurities in an attempt to groom her. He also makes very sexually suggestive comments. And this part's going to come as a surprise to some, but the important thing to note here is that this is extremely, extremely recent, as in last month. This is confirmed because in the screenshots, it shows June, and they talk about the quarantine that's happening right now to everybody. So one of Hashinshin's arguments in defense of this behavior is that he suffered from memory loss until 2018 due to a carbon monoxide leak in his home. There are two issues with this. One, memory loss does not exclude exploiting children. Two, even after he moved into a new home, his predatory behavior continued. That's not only just shown of Sarah just now, even in 2019 when he was still talking to Vicky. Also, Hashinshin's statements offer vague and contrived excuses for his behavior, in addition to outright denial. With this evidence, though, we can see that he continues to take advantage of his status in the league community to groom children, even just last month. And with all that aside, I think it's just time to wrap it up. This is just going to be a one take because I need to get this off my chest. Hashinshin, for years you've been taking advantage of young girls who've come to you, trust you, and respect you because of your status as a content creator. There have been memes and jokes about you about being a predator for a long fucking time, especially on Twitter. But now it's time for you to understand the weight of your actions and take responsibility. I understand that mental health issues can make you do things that you normally wouldn't, but it doesn't absolve you of responsibility. The people you've affected are not affected any less just because you felt out of control. You keep saying you have nothing to hide and that you're innocent, but if that's true, why do you keep asking people to delete evidence? If you're innocent, why do you start a sexual conversation with me on an alt account that I made 2 years ago on Twitter in 30 minutes of conversation? If you're innocent, why do these people keep coming forward with their stories and with evidence as time has gone on through the years? The lack of awareness you have for how inappropriately you've acted around children and even just people is unbelievable. These are girls who are literally half your fucking age, and they look up to you, but you're a popular streamer, or just because you're a popular streamer. I'm sorry if I stutter, but I just don't want to. I'm not editing this. And instead of setting a good example, you take advantage of them time and time again. I'm asking that you just admit that you took advantage of your status and fame and were involved in sexual misconduct of young girls. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that you need to step away from content creation in the league community. This is the last straw. That's it.